questions before we go to the next presentation? Okay, you can anyway put your questions in the chat. We'll move forward. Next time now I'll invite Sai Dhrujala to give presentation on measuring motivation and satisfaction level of visitors. Sai. And you have to unmute yourself, Sai. Please share your screen. We can hear you now.
Sir, is my presentation visible?
No. Hemantini, are you able to see it?
No, sir.
Can you just try once again, Sai?
Sure.
Yeah, put it on slideshow. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Good evening, sir, ma'am, and to all the delegates present here. Firstly, I'll take privilege to thank you all for coming here today. And let me start my saying about myself. I'm Sai Dhrujala, pursuing Master of Technology in Transportation Engineering from Ramaya University of Applied Sciences, Bengaluru. And as you all can see on the screen, my topic today is measuring motivation and satisfaction level of visitors. In my presentation, I'll focus on what destination or church street attributes motivated pedestrians to visit the church street and their satisfaction level towards the various attributes and facilities provided on church street during pedestrianization. And this presentation is structured as follows. First goes introduction, methodology, data collection, analysis, summary, and the reference. I would like to give you all some background information about motivation factors, advocacy, and revisit intention of the visitors. It is not different concept, but hardly we know a lot about it technically. Motivation and satisfaction, visitor satisfaction are very crucial to the long-term growth of any initiative around the world. It is considered as a key driving force to interpret the behavior of an individual. And it is the only variable which explains visitors' behavior in all regarded as one of the most important behavior because it is an impelling and compelling force behind all the behavior of an individual. The study of visitors' motivation based on the concept of push and pull factors, that is the destination attributes, which has been generally accepted. And push motivation has been through useful for explaining the desire for travel and push motivation has been through useful for explaining the actual destination choice when a person desire to travel. And push factor which are origin related and are intangible desire for escape from the daily routine, rest and relaxation or health and fitness, adventures and social interaction that predispose an individual to travel. And the pull factors are those that emerge a result of attractiveness of destination once the decision has made by a traveler to travel. And our study objectives are firstly to identify and measure the motivation factors that influences an individual to visit the pedestrianized church street. And second, measure the motivation level of visitors on pedestrianized church street and their repeat visit invention and advocacy intentions. Let us see to the methodology we have followed. Firstly, primary data was collected through face-to-face interviews using a structured questionnaire, and survey was conducted on weekends from December 2020 to January 2021, and total of 518 samples has been collected. And questionnaire includes 15 questions on pull factors and 16 questions to measure push factor and 10 questions on overall satisfaction, 6 questions to measure their revisit intentions and advocacy intentions, and then goes on with the social demographic details and travel characteristics were also included, and the descriptive analysis was done on the samples collected. Before the descriptive analysis, the data which were gathered has been coded in the Excel, and at last the major findings and the studies were concluded. As I said before, and the participation in the survey was voluntary, and the minimum of 10 minutes were taken by a respondent to fill the questionnaire. If you look at the socio-demographic profile charts, you can see out of 518 samples collected, 67% are male and 33% are female. And it can be noted that a majority of the respondents are from the age group of 18 to 29 years. When it comes to education level of the respondents, 67% are graduates and 30% are postgraduate students, which are high. And when it comes to family income, we can see that all classes of people visited the Church Street. Church Street pedestrianization has attracted 18% of the first-time visitors and 40% of the occasional visitors. Thus, we can say that due to pedestrianization, additional of 58% of the visitors has visited Church Street. And 45% of the visitors survey got to know about the Church Street first initiative through friends and family. That shows a high positive word of mouth for this initiative. And from all the plots of this travel characteristics of visitors, we can say that pedestrianization of Church Street has attracted new visitors to the street and to enjoy the weekends during doing shopping, dining, and participating in various recreation activities that were happening on the streets during the weekends with their family and friends. This shows positive word of mouth, as I said before. And next, visitors' pull motivation comes from intrinsic desire of visitors, and this section covers the questions asked to measure the intrinsic desire of visitors, and the results obtained plays a vital role in shaping the visitors' visit pull motivation. Firstly, 85% of the visitors visited to spend quality time with their friends and family, and 56% of the visitors visited to support pedestrianization of Church Street, and 67% of the visitors visited to get some excitement through the activities that were happening on the streets. And 37% of the visitors visited to meet new people. To the same comment, we could see the 38% of the visitors disagree to the same statement. And 74% of the visitors visited with the sense of fulfillment of contributing to the Clean Air Initiative, and less level of disagreement to the same, which is very good factor. And when it comes to vibrant European atmosphere, 52% of the visitors agreed that they felt like they were in a vibrant European street when they visited the pedestrianized Church Street. And 78% of the visitors agreed that they enjoy walking freely on the street without any motors on the street. And here is the list of all the pull factors that were included in the questionnaire with their percentage of agreement and disagreement level. And when we see the list, 85% of the visitors visited to spend quality time with their friends and family, and 78% of the visitors visited to enjoy walking freely on the roads, and 74% of the visitors visited with the sense of fulfillment of contributing to the initiative and to experience new things on the street. These three statements stand first. And in the next section, the questions of push factors were asked to understand the attractive recreation features and factors like services, safety, and security that were offered on the street. Firstly, 65% of the visitors agreed that the activities that were happening on the streets on the weekends and the pedestrianization initiative has influenced them to visit the pedestrianized Church Street. And 63% of the visitors agreed that eating under open sky influenced them to visit the church street, as it was a very unique idea in Bengaluru. And 54% of the visitors agreed that entertainment activities that were happening on weekends on the church street has pushed them to visit the church street. And 61% of the visitors agreed that wide variety of outdoor activities has influenced visitors to visit the pedestrianized church street. And 79% of the visitors agreed that the vibrant atmosphere has influenced the visitors to visit church street. In here, we can see that 72% of the visitors agree that the vibrant atmosphere has made them spend more time than the usual they used to spend on the church street because of the vibrant atmosphere and the other activities which were happening on the streets. And 71% of the visitors agreed that good safety and security arrangements that were provided on the church street has made them visit pedestrianized church street. And here is the list of all the push factors that were asked in the question in the questionnaire to the respondents with their percentage of agreement and disagreement level. And on top, the factors that stands are 79% of the visitors agreed that the vibrant atmosphere has made them spend more time than usual. And 71% of the visitors strongly agree with the safety and security and the beautification and decoration of the streets that was arranged during the pedestrianization. And 68% of the visitors were motivated due to the wide variety of restaurants on the streets, which most people attended only outdoor dining. And another significant section where the questions were asked to understand visitors' expectations on pedestrianized street and their satisfaction. And since all the activities or facilities that were available on Church Street during the weekends may not be experienced by the visitors. To avoid the biased response in the questionnaire or while responding, along with the Likert scale of 5 points, an option of not noticed or not presented in the activity was also included. And when it comes to experience with the electric vehicle, 17 and 36% of the visitors are satisfied with it. And when it comes to shopping, 22 and 42% of them are satisfied with it. And we could say that outdoor dining is the major one of the factor which attracted the pedestrianization of Church Street, because we could see high level of satisfaction and agreement towards the outdoor dining. Here we could see that 73% of the visitors are satisfied with the outdoor seating arrangement that were offered by the restaurants in the Church Street. And when it comes to overall experience at Church Street, 90% of them are satisfied. And when it comes to friendliness of employees of shops and restaurants, 76% of them are satisfied. And the last section, questions related to revisit intention of the respondents, that is like likelihood to revisit the place that attracts the visitors and their willingness to recommend others to visit the pedestrianized Church Street were asked. And from the chart, we could see that 88% of the visitors would recommend others to visit the Church Street, and 89% responded that they will visit the Church Street again because of the pedestrianization and its livelihood. And 86% of them recommended that other streets of the Bangalore or the other streets of the city to make pedestrianized. And 79% of the visitors are very happy with this initiative, and 72% are happy with the open sky dining offered by the restaurants. We could say that open sky dining is one of the major factors which attracted the pedestrians. And let us all see to the summary of the study. Church Street's pedestrianization has attracted first-time visitors and 40% of occasional visitors. Thus, due to pedestrianization, additional of 58% of the visitors had visited Church Street, and 48% of the visitors surveyed got to know about the Church Street for the first time. And when it comes to dominant pull factors for the visitors to visit pedestrianized Church Street are to spend quality time with their friends and family, to enjoy walk freely on the pedestrianized only street, and sense of fulfillment to contributing to the clean air initiative, and to experience new things that were happening on the streets. And the dominant push factors for the visitors to visit the pedestrianized Church Street is availability of wide variety of entertainment activities and freedom to do activities on the street, and other factors that drive them to pedestrianized Church Street are wide variety of restaurants which offer open sky dining, and the vibrant atmosphere, beautification and decoration of the street, and good safety and security arrangements, and easy accessibility to the Church Street. And when it comes to satisfaction, 90% of the visitors were satisfied with the overall experience at the Church Street. And 64% of the visitors were satisfied with the shopping experience at the Church Street, and 53% of the visitors are satisfied with the experience on electric vehicle, and 88% of the visitors were satisfied with safety security at the Church Street, and 92% of the visitors were satisfied with the cleanliness of the Church Street during the pedestrianization. And the study gives valuable insight to the city planner that the quality of life can be improved by providing such vibrant pedestrianized street in the city, which citizens can walk freely without any fear of vehicles. It helps in building community feels, and citizens take a pride to live in such cities. And 90% of the visitors mentioned that they would recommend others to visit Church Street, which shows a success of Church Street First initiative and a tremendous positive word of mouth for such initiative. And the street provides opportunity to the startup in electric vehicle to display their electric vehicles, and to give a trial run to the buyers if they are interested in. And it also gave an opportunity to many handcraft vendors to sell their products and to exhibit their products to increase their sales. And in overall, the findings of the study help us to understand the components of push and pull factors that motivated citizens to visit the pedestrianized Church Street, and which can also be considered while extending the current implementation of Church Street, or to make other streets of the city also to be pedestrianized. And the satisfaction and advocacy intention shows the successful adoption of such pedestrianized street. Thank you.
Thanks, Sai. I think it's an interesting summary of understanding the push and pull factors from a behavior perspective, and how people, especially visitors, look at such kind of initiatives and connect to the quality of life aspects. And I think many of the results clearly highlight, how much visitors were able to relate to quality of life aspects. Let's go to the next presentation by Vidyashree on shop owners' opinion on pedestrian streets. I think this is what Dr. Mukti was also looking for. We'll then have question answers on both these presentations after this one. Vidyashree, can you go ahead?
Yes, sir. Is my presentation is visible, sir?
Not yet. No.
Now, sir?
Yes, now it is visible. Please go ahead. And if your bandwidth allows, you can start your video as well.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vidyashree L, and I'm currently pursuing my final year civil engineering from Global Academy of Technology, and I will be presenting about shop owners' opinion on pedestrianized street. And the presentation outlines goes with introduction, methodology, data collection, and data analysis, and finally with the summary. So introduction, The shop owners survey is very important to understand the impact on establishments due to quality interventions. And also this survey is conducted to know about the Church Street business activities and to understand the Clean Air Street initiative effect on their business. And objective of this survey is to study the impact on business, change in opinion before and after pedestrianization, and perception towards the Clean Air Street initiative. Then next we will move on to methodology. Firstly, the survey instrument was designed, which is a questionnaire survey, and then establishments were shortlisted and enumerators were also appointed to conduct the survey. A face-to-face method was adopted to collect the samples, and then the data coding was done using Microsoft Excel, and the 7-point Likert scale is used to obtain the rating for different aspects for before and after pedestrianization. And finally, the data analysis was carried out. And next is data collection. The questionnaire consists of three sections. The first section consists of questions that provides the details of business, and the second section covers the shop owner's travel characteristics, and third section consists of questions based on their experience in Church Street. And the data collection was done from December 26 to 12 February, and the average time taken to complete this survey is 20 to 25 minutes, and the participant of this survey is shop owner or manager of the shops. So next will be data analysis. And this is about the assessing profile of the establishments. This graph represents the age of shops or establishments in year. Nearly 35% of the shops in Church Streets are older than 10 years, and 16% of the shops are established 2 decades earlier, and 43% of the establishments are less than 5 years old, and also a couple of coffee shops are open during the Clean Air Street project duration. And this graph represents the different type of businesses we interviewed in the Church Street. So 32% of the establishment interviewed are hotel or restaurant, and 16% are apparel shops, and 3% are electronic shops, where 4% are gift shops, and the other kind of businesses in Church Street is 45%, which includes visa services, courier exchange offices, advocate offices, and advertising agencies, and gaming and educational services also. And this graph represents the days in a week to fill the inventories in the shops. We can see that 23% of the shops fill their inventory which is required for the shops on Monday, and 17% of the shops fill their inventories on Wednesday. Nearly 21% of the shops fill the shops inventories on weekends, that is on Saturday and Sunday. And this is about the travel characteristics of shop owners. This will help us to understand the shift towards the sustainable mode of transportation after pedestrianization. Here we can see that the shop owners who commute to Church Street by walk has increased to 6% after pedestrianization, and the bicycle usage is also increased by 1%, and the metro usage is also increased by 4%. As we can see, there is no variation in the bus usage, and also there is 4% increase in the paratransit usage, that is auto rickshaw and taxi. And the shop owners who commute to Church Street by two-wheeler has decreased by 5%, which is a very highlighting point. And also the usage of personal car is reduced by 5%. In overall, we can say that the 15% reduction in the private vehicle users, that is car and two-wheeler, and 11% increase in the sustainable transportation mode, that is walk, bicycle, and metro after pedestrianization. And this is about the parking characteristics, and this graph represents the parking space utilized by the shop owners to park their vehicle before and after pedestrianization. Here we can see 11% of the shop owners park their vehicle in the other designated parking space before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 28% after pedestrianization, whereas 19% of them park their vehicle in front of their shop before pedestrianization, and it is decreased to 10% after pedestrianization. So this graph represents the number of times vehicles taken out from the parking space in a day. So as we can see, 37% of workers in a shop takes their vehicles from parking space once in a day, and 31% of them takes their vehicles out twice in a day, and 32% of them take their vehicle more than twice in a day. The reason is presumed to be for lunch or to get inventory. This is about the shop owners customer visiting establishments on weekday and both weekend. So here we can see 25% of the shop owners said more than 100 customers visit their shops on weekend, whereas 14% of them said more than 100 customers visit their shops on weekday, whereas 45% of them said less than 25 customers will visit their shops on weekend. whereas 54% of them said less than 25 customers visit their shops on weekday. So this is about the percentage of customer drive and park in front of their shops before pedestrianization. So 44% of the shop owners said they have no idea about the customers parking, and 12% of the uh, 12% of the shop owners said some customers will park their vehicle in front of the shop, and 13% of them said most of the customer park their vehicle in front of the shops. And this is about the impact of pedestrianization on their business. So, in briefly, we can say that in the apparel shop samples, 63% of them are disagreed with the increase in customer footfall and also increase in overall positive effect in their business, and 57% of them are disagreed with their increase in revenue. When it comes to hotel or restaurant shop samples, nearly 33 to 43% of them are 59 to 49% of them are agreed that there is an increase in the customer footfall and also increase in revenue after pedestrianization, and 46% of them are agreed that there is a positive effect in their business after the implementation of this pedestrianization. When it comes to electronic samples, 66 to 67% of them are disagreed with the increase in customer footfall, and also there is increase in revenue and overall positive effect in their business after pedestrianization. When it comes to gift samples, nearly 80% of them have said are agreed that there is an increase in their customer footfall and also there is a positive effect in their business, and 40% of them have said there is an increase in revenue in their shops after the pedestrianization. So when it comes to other kind of businesses in Church Street, nearly 52 to 53% percent of the shops are disagreed that there is an increase in the customer footfall and also there is an increase in revenue after pedestrianization, and 47% of them are disagreed with the overall positive effect in their business after the implementation. So if we consider overall samples, we can see 39% of the shop owners are agreed that there is an increase in customer footfall, and 31% of them are said there is an increase in their revenue, and 35% of them are said overall positive effect in their business after the implementation of pedestrianization in the Church Street. So this is about the assessing the perception of shop owners on accessibility to or from the Church Street. 51% of the shop owners are agreed that the comfortable walking space from bicycle or electrical scooter stands to their shop, and 52% of them said they have a very good public transportation connectivity from their residence place to Church Street, and 65% of them said the para-transit service like auto or taxis are easy access in the Church Street, and 38% of them said the bus services are easily accessible in Church Street, and 66% of them said the metro services is very easily accessible in pedestrianization of Church Street. And this is about the satisfaction level on service quality before and after pedestrianization. Here we can see that 30% of them are happy with the cobblestone pavement before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 80% after pedestrianization, whereas the dissatisfaction level, which is 10% after pedestrianization, which is even more before pedestrianization, which is 51%. So 33% of them are happy with the wider footpath design before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 78% after pedestrianization. So when it comes to continuity in footpath, 83% of the shop owners are satisfied with the continuity in footpath after pedestrianization, where it is before 40%. And 27% of the shop owners are satisfied with the design of ramps for differently able before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 71% after pedestrianization, even though there is no changes made in any service quality, but the perception have positively improved after pedestrianization. So this is about the outdoor seating arrangements. So 71% of the shop owners are happy with the outdoor seating arrangements after pedestrianization. So 30% of the shop owners are satisfied with the green spaces before pedestrianization, and it is even increased to 69% after pedestrianization. 22% of the shop owners are satisfied with the improvement in air quality before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 81% after the implementation of the pedestrianization. And in other words, we can see that the satisfaction level has increased to 59%, and dissatisfaction level is decreased by 41% with the air quality improvement in air quality after the pedestrianization. So 80% of the shop owners are satisfied with the space for entertainment in the Church Street after pedestrianization, which is 26% before. It is increased by 54% after the implementation of the pedestrianization. 28% of the shop owners are satisfied with the street aesthetics before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 86% after the pedestrianization. So we can see 38% of the shop owners are dissatisfied with the social distancing for safety during pandemic, which is even increased to 48% after pedestrianization. And here also 39% of the shop owners are satisfied with the street light condition before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 82% after the pedestrianization. 34% of the shop owners are satisfied with the CCTV surveillance, which is increased by 44% after pedestrianization. 39% of the shop owners are satisfied with the police patrolling present in the Church Street before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 74% after the pedestrianization. This is about the satisfaction level on street maintenance. Here we can see that 31% of the shop owners are satisfied with the cleanliness of road and footpath before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 87% after the pedestrianization. 84% of the shop owners are satisfied with the provision for drinking facility, dissatisfied with the provision for drinking facilities before pedestrianization, and it is decreased to 78% after the pedestrianization. 5% of them are satisfied with the toilet facility before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 12% after the pedestrianization. Here we can see that without making any physical changes in the physical infrastructures, but the positive emotion towards the facilities is observed after the pedestrianization. So 28% of the shop owners are satisfied with the dustbin availability before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 81% after pedestrianization. So this is about the satisfaction level on overall pedestrian friendly street in the Church Street. Nearly 20 to 30% of the shop owners are satisfied with the overall designs and overall service quality before pedestrianization, and it is increased to 72% after pedestrianization, and 84% of them are satisfied with the overall service quality after pedestrianization, whereas 78% of them are satisfied with the overall cleanliness in the Church Street. This is about the level of agreement towards the advantage and disadvantage of the pedestrianization. 83% of them are said that the pedestrian friendly street promotes healthy lifestyle, and 91% of the shop owners said this street is accessible for all the age groups, and 73% of them are said that during the pedestrianization the road feels safe due to the closure of traffic, and 66% of them said the shop owners who use personal vehicle, they need to take an alternative route because of the closure of road, and 58% of them are said that it is a comfortable walking space from parking spaces to their shops. And this is about the opinion on pedestrianization of urban street. 70% of the shop owners have stated pedestrian has a very good idea, and 6% of them have given neutral opinion about this. This is about the level of agreement on recommendation of pedestrianization of street. So almost 50% of the shop owners recommend extending the pedestrianization of Church Street beyond February 2021. In summary, a total of 115 samples we have collected to assess the shop owners' opinion on pedestrianized street. So here we can see the shop owners who commute to Church Street by walk has increased to 6%, and the metro usage has also increased to 4%. In overall, the private vehicle has decreased to 15%, and an increase in the sustainable transportation mode by 11%. And 39% of the shop owners are agreed that there is an increase in the customer footfall after the pedestrianization. And 35% of them said Church Street pedestrianization has bring the overall positive effect in their business. And 70% of the shop owners showed the positive emotion towards the pedestrianization of Church Street, whereas 6% of them responded neutrally, and 24% of them are showed dissatisfaction towards the opinion about the pedestrianization of Church Street. And 49% of them are recommended for extending the time period of pedestrianization of street. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidrishi. This was very interesting to understand shop owners' opinion on this whole Church Street test bed. We can take few questions on the last two presentations. Yes, Kiran Kumar, please go ahead. Sai and Vidya, if you can come on the, please go ahead. Mr. Kiran Kumar.
Hi. Is there any planning to take a similar kind of survey during rainy season so that we'll know what could be the performance of the street on the rainy season and the behavior or the opinion of the pedestrians during that season?
Yeah, unfortunately, of course, this whole test bed ran till February and only.
And it will be in enter, yeah.
Yeah, and after that, since this was a pilot, so the pilot has been, completed. So right now the street is open for traffic. We are hoping with this impact assessment report released and submitted to government, they should now reintroduce it and I think make it on a permanent and long-term basis. So hopefully then we will be able to capture these seasonal variations.
Just to make sure that the street will be all-weather conditioned street.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Anyone? Okay, if not, then we can go to the last presentation of the day, which will essentially now summarize and assess the overall impact in terms of quality of life. And I'll request Hemantini to make this presentation. Over to you, Hemantini.
Yes. So my slide is visible?
Yes, put it on slideshow. Yeah, we can. Go ahead, please.
Once again, thank you for attending this session. So now I'll just try to summarize how the different various studies that has quantitative and qualitative studies that was conducted, how we can relate it to the various quality of life aspects. So quality of life is nothing but generally defined as a well-being of individuals and societies, and the World Health Organization also defined it as a individual's perception of the perception of their position in life in context to their expectations, standards, and concerns. So in this study, we try to assess the quality of life indicators using both subjective and objective indicators. So basically, the idea is to assess the impact of sustainable transport policy intervention onto the quality of life. So basically here the policy intervention is pedestrianizing an urban street, and so we try to discuss it with respect under three main pillars of sustainability, which is nothing but environmental, social, economic. So I will just take you through how we came up with these QoL index indicators and connecting it to the various studies that was discussed in the previous sessions. So coming to improvement in air quality, as we all know, we have been discussing this, and so during pedestrianization, we found that on weekends, the pollution level, the air quality has improved comparing to weekdays with traffic, and it is also to be with respect to both PM10 and PM2.5 pollution level. Apart from that, AQI, the study on air quality index also showed that during weekends, the most of the weekend days are within the satisfactory limit, good limit, and only 5 days were within 5 days were in the moderate limit. So this also shows that such policy intervention, people-centric approach enhances the enhance the air quality. Apart from that, we also did a similar assessment with respect to qualitative study, which has been discussed. So coming to visitors, it is observed that nearly 83% are satisfied with the satisfied with the improvement in air quality post pedestrianization, as well as shop owners. 81% of the shop owners are also agreed that there is an improvement in air quality after pedestrianization. So this also shows that people are aware that that traffic leads to aware that traffic is also one of the main reason for air pollution, and restricting traffic movements will improve the air quality. And also coming to the other aspects, which is reduction in traffic noise and safe pedestrian mobility. So we try to capture this traffic noise aspect in the perception study, and as you can see, when we categorize certain factors related to and ask visitors to rate it with respect to how it contributes to quality of life, it is observed that nearly 94% agreed that this kind of initiative enables safe pedestrians, enables safety, and also reduces noise and also improves air quality. So we try to assess both quantitative and qualitative aspect with respect to this. And coming to cleaner environment, it is also to be noted during weekends, the number of times the cleaning activities such as solid waste management was carried, the frequency of solid waste management activities was increased during weekends, that is pedestrianized weekends, compared to weekdays. And this additional effort by DULT also showed in the perception of the visitors, agreeing that nearly 90% agreed or satisfied with the overall cleanliness of the street. And also it can be seen that even shop owners are satisfied with the overall cleanliness of the street during pedestrianized weekends. And coming to the other environmental aspects, such as increased usage of PT, public transport, we can see, as discussed earlier, with respect to visitors, the number nearly 7%, there is 7% increase in the sustainable transport modes, and there is 7% decrease in the personal modes. And similar with respect to shop owner study also, we have observed there is so commuting to Church Street using personal modes has decreased by 15%, and using sustainable transport modes had increased by 11%. These are some of the and apart from that, when we also assess with respect to, we also use accessibility as another factor in the perception study of both visitors and shop owners, and it can be seen that if almost, as discussed earlier, both the visitors and shop owners are satisfied or agreed that there is easy access to metro services. As we all know, like there is one metro station right which has entry or exit right on the Church Street, and also 84% of the visitors agreed that they have good connectivity by public transit system, public transport itself, from their residential places. Similarly, when looking at shop owners survey, they also agree. So only 50% agreed that there is a good connectivity of public transit from their residential spaces. However, both visitors and shop owners are not not aware of the existing bus services that are existing bus stops that are closer to Church Street. This calls for the importance of providing bus signboards when we introduce such policy intervention. And then moving on to other aspect, which is improved overall service quality, which is also assessed both qualitatively and quantitatively. As you can see, when visitors and shop owners are asked to rate the overall satisfaction level with respect to overall service quality, nearly 97% agreed that they are satisfied after pedestrianization compared to before pedestrianization, and also even shop owners agreed that 84% of the interviewed shop owners agreed that they are satisfied with the overall service quality after pedestrianization compared to before pedestrianization. This and also with respect to the pedestrian footfall study, we can see that there is nearly 92% increase in the pedestrian footfall from first month of pedestrianization to last month of pedestrianization. And from the pedestrian level of service, it can also be seen on most of the days the service the level of services remains at A, except for last except for 1 or 2 days in February. This also shows that this also shows how such intervention serves the purpose in terms of quantitatively. And then coming to social aspects, so some of the social indicators of quality of life, such as comfort and convenient working space, increased physical activity, health benefits, and accessibility and improved social interactions. How such policy intervention impacts these aspects of quality of life is measured in certain in the perception study, and we can see like nearly 85 to 90% of the visitors agreed that there is easy access to services, essential services, and apart from that, such initiative also improves social interactions. And this is also evident from the other study which we discussed on motivation and satisfaction, where people agreed that they would like to spend time on the church street, they would like to make new friends, and also spend time with their family and so on. So this also shows that there is improved social interactions due to such initiative. Apart from that, people also agreed that enabling walking and cycling does adheres to better health benefits. And this also, and we also asked, and we also assessed how the visitors feel this initiative, whether they feel that this initiative improves their quality of life. It is very evident. Nearly 98% people agreed that such initiative improves quality of life. Improves quality of life, and almost zero disagreement for this statement. The 2%, only 2% gave neither agree or not disagree, and 0% there is no disagreement for this statement. So which means that if people are aware that people-centric approaches does improve quality of life. Coming to the last aspect of social pillar of sustainability, which is suitable for such initiative is suitable for all age and income group. So which as discussed in the socio-demographic profile, although majority of the visitors are within the age group of 18 to 29, we happen to there are significant amount of opinions from other age groups as well, other age groups between 40 to 60 as well, and thus their opinion also shows that people are welcoming this kind of initiative. And so we also included certain aspects or into the questionnaire, asking whether people also feel that this street is accessible for all age groups, and also whether they think this kind of initiative will promote healthy lifestyle. And we can see from the result that nearly 90%, more than 90% agreed that such initiatives, now the street is without traffic, the street is accessible for all age groups, and also it promotes healthy lifestyle. And then similarly, when we interviewed same question with the shop owners, it is observed that even 83% of the shop owners agreed that such policy intervention promotes healthy lifestyle, and it is also accessible for all age groups. And then coming to economic aspect of the study, as discussed in the last presentation, especially hotels or restaurants and gift shops have showed nearly 50% of the hotels or restaurants or gift shops interviewed showed positive agreed that such initiative had positive influence on their businesses in terms of revenue, customer footfall, and as well as overall effect on their businesses. And however, there are few shops. So even in other kind of shops, it is also seen that nearly 20% of them agreed that such initiative accounts for increase in customer footfall and revenue. And coming to overall aspect, with such initiative implemented for 4 months, out of 150 shop owners interviewed, nearly 40%, the 40% agreed that there is increase, their customer footfall had increased, and also 30% agreed that there is increase in revenue. Apart from that, 35% agreed that there is increase in overall effect in business. So thus, such initiative shows that So shows that the importance of improving quality of life through sustainable transport strategies. Apart from that, we believe that the insights from these report will help stakeholders in making further decisions. Thank you.
Thanks, Hemantini, for overall, summarizing the different chapters and how do we assess and look at the overall narrative or story in terms of quality of life impacts. I think we have concluded well on time. 6 p.m. as we had decided. In the conclusion, I would really say that this study can potentially be a benchmark study for scaling such initiatives, not just in Bangalore or other cities of Karnataka, state of Karnataka, but also elsewhere in India as well as internationally. I think the scale of assessment and the comprehensiveness of the assessment done in this study, both on qualitative indicators and factors as well as on qualitative ones, is unprecedented, I would say. And we have really tried putting up a comprehensive methodology of how such initiatives can be assessed, not just purely in terms of transport policy handled, but also as in terms of the larger city goals of improving livability and quality of life of cities, which is more and more becoming the important and key factor today in urban planning and anything that we do in urban areas. Our intention through this webinar was to disseminate exhaustively the individual chapters that forms the report. The full report is available on our website for free download for anybody. I'm sure people can make use of it. What we really need is more such evidences from different experiments and different places. And we hope that this study would also induce more such impact assessment that we can do and create more examples and more evidences to show to decision makers, to politicians, to bureaucrats, to business community and people at large, what one can expect when you do such pedestrianization initiatives. At the same time, it also brings learning lessons of what things need to be taken care while we introduce or implement such pedestrianization aspects in different places. What are the things to take care and so on. Very interestingly, this Church Street, there were some improvements on the street scape that were done few years back in terms of cobblestone pavement and other improvements. But when the pedestrianization happened, a lot of aspects of service quality, the people's perception really improved on those aspects, or even though nothing was actually done to improve that during the pedestrianization. For example, the perception about the cobblestone pavement got much more positive while the pedestrianization was done. Likewise, there were several other service quality parameters where just doing pedestrianization actually improved the overall perception about things. So these are wonderful, I would say, results that we have got from this study. I thank all of you for attending this marathon 3-hour webinar. Many of you have stayed right from the beginning till the end and listening these different presentations. Thanks to my Church Street intern team, all of them for coming forward and giving very nice presentation, preparing the presentations nicely, and also Hemantini, my research scholar, who has been coordinating and presented some of these results, and of course to Professor Meghna for being a co-author on some of these important studies. With that, we come to the end of this webinar, and we hope that this whole dissemination has been useful for all of you. But yes, I can assure a lot more dissemination will happen going further. We'll also be putting the recordings of these individual presentations on our website, after a few days after we edit them, and they'll be freely available for anybody to view later on. And with this, definitely I wish you and thank all of you for attending it, and look forward to have more such initiatives being scaled up in different parts of the country. With that, we come to the conclusion of this webinar. Thanks to all of you. Thanks again.
Thank you, Ashish sir.